Hey everyone, how are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope that you all are very well within yourselves. I am going to be conducting an energy reading, but this is going to be based on what the dark side, um, what's going on there with them. As you can see, I've already laid the cards out because there was a sort of like a strong sort of like message that was coming through regarding them. So it was all, basically to do with, why they are sort of reacting in the way that they are. And also the reason being is because of the system being destroyed. It's breaking down and all of these glitches are appearing. This is what we're seeing and witnessing. And obviously they're being affected because they can no longer control and contain the system anymore or contain us in the system because our frequencies are transcending out of their grasp and it's leaving them now in this kind of chaos that they are trying to project onto us. So first up we have got, first of all, again, shield yourself, ground yourself. Take what resonates with this reading and leave the rest behind. So first up we have got the Nine of Wands in the upright position. We've got the Two of Wands in the reverse. We've got the King of Wands in the reverse. We've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. And midway we've got the Five of Wands that's in the midway. And as you know, this would be how I do my readings. This would be pointing to the past and their crappy linear time. And if it was that way, then it would be like, the future. Okay. So that kind of like represents to me like over the past, in the past, recent past or few years. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Cups in the upright position. So this is all about loss, and feeling really a kind of a way. So overall what we're seeing here is the fact that they are still, now always don't get it twisted, just because sometimes you feel that you're sort of exceeding, doing really well, you are sort of still grounding and shielding yourself, it doesn't mean that they are not going to stop trying to attack you. This is something that they are doing on a daily basis. They have been doing this to us for hundreds of thousands of years since they've been invading this planet, and especially in our time. And they're not stopping. They're continuing. There's a saying, if you can't hear, you must feel. But these lot are still continuing regardless. They will not stop until they draw their last miserable breath. So the Two of Wands means then they're not able to take any action. They're not able to make any kind of decision. And obviously with the King of Wands being in the reverse, this is causing a lot of outrage right now. There's a lot of anger here. There's a lot of frustration. And I'm really getting a sense of being worn down, worn out. The more that we keep on raising our frequencies and standing up for ourselves, as well as shielding and defending, then it's going to be affecting them as well. The Ten of Swords in the reverse. To me, this represents what they are trying to do in the form of creating enemies within people so that they could turn in and really just mess us up, and keep us held down, stuck down into their system, into the grid, so that we will not be able to kind of get the healing that we need, either from people upstairs or just really in general, with getting up. The worst is over, as you know, because there are some beginnings that's coming in, and with the Five of Wands being in the midway, this is a blockage. This is something where they can't continue, or I'd say they are still continuing, but it seems to be not as effective as it was before. Even though what we are seeing online with regards to the chaos and the conflict, the battles that's going on, now this is just my opinion. But the ones who are shouting out and screaming out the most and getting triggered by every little thing, any kind of misinformation and running with it, are the NPCs. The NPCs are like the influencers, similar to how the newsreaders are with regards to spreading the propaganda, misinformation, and those types of people, and especially including people that are not, really awakened. I wouldn't really call them. They all don't have to be NPC, because there are some people who are just kind of like not aware. They're just choosing to, they may be aware, but they are feeling that there's nothing that they can do. Okay, but you have these people that will come online, that will go onto their social media platforms and start, creating their own content, which is always based on negativity, it's based on fear, and it's based in a way of trying to rile up people's emotions so that they will respond in a very sort of like low vibrational way. But because now, on the flip side of that, you're getting a rise now of people that are also creating the content in order to reveal the propaganda, reveal the lies, to try and make people think for themselves now, to try and say to people, be mindful about who you're watching online, be careful who you follow. Remember that the words that we speak in English or in any other earth-based language, they are all based on creating more hardship, spells, is to keep us bound within their frequency, bound within the system. So that, if you're going to be hearing repeatedly, oh, and I'm just making an example here. Oh, this is scary. This is a scary time. I'm so scared about this, guys. What do you think, guys? Etc., etc. Or I'm really outraged, and how can this be? Blah 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 blah. The more they keep repeating those words, it's as if the frequencies encoded within those words are coming in to embed into the consciousness of the person who's watching their content. And then eventually what will happen, if you keep on following these people, you end up parroting the same words that they have been spilling out towards you. And because we're using their technological devices, which is amplifying their intentions even more, it's going to be affecting you energetically, right? So this is why it's always important to make sure that you are practicing your shielding, practicing every single day or a few times out of the day, or whenever you go somewhere, like if you go into a supermarket or a place of work, or even when you're traveling on public transport, you're going to be surrounded by these people. So even if you feel a bit away, they may not necessarily have to say something, but their presence will speak louder than their words. And if you know that you feel a shift within your heart space, that something doesn't feel right, that's where you need to really be working on shielding yourself. This is a constant battle. We're not out of the woods yet, because the truth really hasn't been revealed. And I'm not talking about the fake disclosure nonsense that they're going to be spewing out in the form of films and in files and stuff like that, because they're never going to tell you the real truth. You're not going to get that. And for people who are going to be believing that, yes, it's entirely up to them, but be mindful with regards to the information or misinformation that's going to be given you, because what they're trying to do is still keep people within their field. Okay, so let's just kind of expand on this a little bit more, because this is just pre-done. And I always like to kind of like give you guys, like let you guys see me shuffling the deck, so that we can get this kind of like, we're seeing this more in, in real time sort of thing. So let's just kind of get some messages. Tell me about the Nine of Wands, please. Why is the Nine of Wands here? What's going on? Why they're so pissed and why they're so determined? Because they do not want you to heal. They do not want you to be at peace within yourself. If you look at the word temperance, you can make the word temper, so they're always going to be affecting you, so that you'll always be upset and angry. or you can make the word peace, Peace. It's up to, you know, you, however, you know, what choice you're going to be making. But because we're talking about them, and this is in the reverse, they want instability, they want distortion, they want people to feel doubtful about themselves, so that when they go out in the world, or even within their home, if they live with people, they're going to be projecting out their temper onto other people, so that it's going to be a continuous cycle of chaos. So my throat went there. So again, that's about affecting your speech and continuing to spread light. Right, so the next card now we have, tell me about the Two of Wands. What decisions can they not make, or what they're trying to do to take action towards? What is it that they're trying to do? Yeah, they're trying to come in with more fear tactics. They're trying to create this, you know, the wars, the battles. This is what they're trying to do. Okay, but the thing is, because of the lack of strategy, you know, it's not really coming off. Or even if they are strategizing, it's not being effective. The King of Wands, these will be the higher ups. There's a feeling, bear with me a sec. Right. Okay. Whatever it is that they're trying to look for in terms of information and using spies and everything like that, these three cards actually wanted to speak to. We've got, yeah, there's a discord here. Something is being rejected, and I am getting a lot of infighting even on their side, where one side wants to be able to take action but another one doesn't. Something is being rejected here. So there's a lot of crumbling on their side. Cracks are starting to appear on their side. We know, I mean, we can feel and see that there's things that's really and truly, really shifting. And with the Ten of Swords, please. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Yeah. There's a lot of secrecy. As I said, with the enemies, they're trying to create. This can even be a lot of dark magic that they're trying to produce. Using the moon, especially to create more fear, illusions over the people. And with the Five of Wands being in the midway, yeah, the plans are not going through. I don't really see that there's any kind of future that they have with this. The future's not really looking as, like, when I say great, I mean on their side, as what they think. And underneath the bottom of the deck, for the Five of Cups, we have got the Three of Cups. They're pissed off because we're getting together, we are uniting, even though it's not at the pace that what we would like to see. And also the fact that they're missing out on the celebrations that they would have had if their attacks were effective. So this is what they're going to be missing out on, you know. But it's too fucking bad. And then for the Inner Temple, let's get some cards around this. We have got Chamber of Soul Gifts. So to me, this represents those who are choosing to walk away, move away from the movie. You're starting to enter into your soul gifts. This is what they are trying their hardest for you not to enter into. They do not want you to have your soul gifts. They do not want you to remember who you are. This is what is crippling them and killing them, because of the fact that you are all choosing to move towards your own remembrance. Okay? The masks we wear are moving away. They want to continue their deception, but because of how powerful our life force is, we are also moving away from the identities and the labels that we were programmed to believe that we were, you know. And also they are revealing themselves as well. The next couple of cards that we have for this reading is the Connection. They want you to be in separation, but we are reconnecting with who we are, our remembrance of who we are, gradually, slowly but surely, but it's happening. And also reconnecting with one another, finding like-minded individuals to be able to stand up and rise up. And then lastly, we have got let go. We are choosing to let go, and they are trying so hard to hold on to us, but we're letting go. Okay. And then the card underneath the bottom of the deck is Chamber of Surrender. At some point, one side has to surrender. And surrender can go both ways. This can be either you surrendering, no longer allowing any of these labels to get to you, so that you can start to walk back towards your chamber of soul gifts. And they will have to surrender because they know that the battle and the war is lost. So this is the reading that I've got. I hope that this is kind of giving you some kind of insight as to what's going on. You're going to start to see even more bullshit going on, craziness going on, all of these sort of events that they are trying to create, a lot more distractions. I'm hearing it especially in the form of music. So again, be mindful with regards to what you're listening to, and just continue with your own, your own inner journey. Continue with, not giving up your sovereignty to any of them. Do not insult your sovereignty by kneeling down and worshipping your oppressors. Continue to keep rising up and continue to keep shielding yourself. And as always, I will see you guys in the next reading. I'll see you on the other side. Take care.